Well, hello Southwest Florida and all you vintage drum buffs. Jim Messina is my name in case you don't know me. I'm quite an enthusiast myself. For those of you who do know me, we're just doing this all over again, and we're going to show you a few of the things that I've picked up this year, but especially we're going to talk about the trip to the Chicago show. I think I'm just about the only one that gets up that way from Southwest Florida, and I try to bring back news from the show, but let me tell you something that's been going on. The last couple of years that I've gone, I've managed to talk to some of the collectors there. And as you know, at the show, there's the cream of the crop. You've got the top collectors from all around the world that attend this big show. And I couldn't believe it. I would just walk up to them with the camera, and they were very affable, polite, and they were glad to talk to me. And it's kind of becoming a collection of my own, a collection of interviews from these top collectors, and it's just a real privilege to sit down with these guys, and because they're heroes to me, just like they're heroes to you. I mean, they're the names that we know, John Aldridge and people like that. Rob Cook puts on the show, but this year I got to talk to BUN E CARLOS, Mike Curotto. I've got an interview of them with JOHN ZIMA all together. Dave Brown, the famous English collector. I have two interviews with him. I have his Slingerland Black Beauty interview, and then I have a very in-depth interview where he, in his own words, will show his whole collection and talk about it in depth. Pretty interesting and pretty extensive. So right now, I'm going to show you what I picked up at the Chicago show this year. Here it is. This was actually on the, I think it's on the Rebeach site after the show. I was the one who bought it. This is a Liberty sea green tube lug snare from the 20s. All original. There's the original cap head. Dave Brown took a look at this and just said, very nice drum. I can't believe I got it. It's the only thing I got at the show. I bought it within the first hour. I was done. I believe it was Tony DeSantis that owned this drum, but there's a funny story that goes along with it. I get Not So Modern Drummer magazine, as a lot of you do, and when I first started reading the magazine, there were pictorials of Mike Curotto's early collection. He had only been collecting for a couple of years, and I looked at the pictures. They had a little spread on his drums. It was a stupefying collection at that time. I mean, he had only been at it for 2 years. That was a few years ago that I had that magazine. I forget which year it was, but after I got this drum, I was looking at that magazine again, and there was a sea green Liberty drum. But get this, it had the bent lever. This is Mike Curotto's drum. I don't know if Mike knows this or not, but I think that happens to him a lot. You say, hey, I bought this drum. He says, oh, yeah, I used to own that drum. But I'm really proud of this drum, along with my Peacock Pearl that I got as a Christmas present. What a total surprise. So who knows what I'm going to see this year, but I hope to have some really good interviews this year. I don't know who I'm going to talk to. A lot of times it just depends on who's available. I would really like to sit down with Rob Cook and John Aldridge, because to me they kind of started this whole phenomenon, at least from collectors on my level. John Aldridge basically wrote the Bible, the Guide to Vintage Drums. I remember buying that book, not knowing who he was or not knowing anything about this whole phenomenon. And then along comes Rob Cook with his Rogers book, his Slingerland book, and all the books that he's done that I've studied and you've studied. And there they are. Now Rob Cook's got this great show in Chicago. 17th show coming up this year. And I don't know if he'll have time, but Rob used to put out a video. He used to put out videos where he'd interview people, kind of like I do. And I think it would be interesting to sit down with John Aldridge and Rob Cook, because that's what they did in his video, and just to see what they have to say about it all now, to see what it's grown into. But for our first interview, among many here, this is going to get to be a pretty extensive DVD here. I hope I can fit this all on here, but we've got John Zima, Mike Curotto, and BUN E CARLOS. Now, this is all very impromptu, no fancy equipment. Sometimes, you know, we have no windscreen, so you'll miss out on some of the audio, but still, I think it's worth showing you in its entirety. So here's the three of them, and they're going to talk with us a little bit. See you in a minute.